Tail of the tape brought to you by Road to Dubai. Gadzhi Rabadanov is 32, Chizov is 28. Chizov is the taller fighter here and has a 4-inch reach advantage.
For Gadzhi Rabadanov, threaten takedowns even if he's not interested in them, but he's got to set up that left hook. We know how good he is. Controlling the pace is going to be a big key for him as well, not allowing Chizov to settle. On the other side, Chizov, footwork and feints keep it active. Straight punches are his best weapon, and volume for pressure will be really, really valuable for him all the way through this fight.
Good fighters, we went over the rules in the back. There were no fighter questions from either of you. If you want to touch go, let's do it now. Come out ready to fight.
Big fight this one, Sean. Been looking forward to this one.
Chizov in the gold trunks, Gadzhi Rabadanov
round,
in the red.
You ready?
Chizov, the former PFL Europe champion, stepping up to the big boy ranks. Gadzhi Rabadanov, former PFL global champion. Picked himself off balance, right back to his feet.
Chizov looking at that long jab to the body, trying to draw Gadzhi's hands down, most likely. We know Chizov's got a good left hook, but so has Gadzhi. Chizov looking like the much bigger fighter in there as well. Leaning heavy on his lead legs, stinging out those straight punches. It'll be interesting to see how Gadzhi deals with this, how he figures out a way of getting to Chizov. Nice, straight to the body there. Check hook by Gadzhi.
Really interesting talking to Chizov about the way that he's now structuring his camps. Third time was the charm for him in PFL Europe, and you know, he had been training at All-Stars in Sweden. He found now the best recipe between fights. When he's not in camp, he goes and he picks up new techniques, trains at All-Stars. When it's time to get ready for a fight, he goes back home to Latvia. He builds a camp specifically around himself and about what he wants to do.
Fingers.
And it's worked magically these last few fights.
A couple of times Chizov's tried a long left hook, and Gadzhi's actually been able to counter him on it. A little bit too high as well, because he's coming up. He looks much better when he's crouched and he's throwing those straight punches.
That right there is where Gadzhi Rabadanov is most dangerous. When he commits to those strikes, he closes distance with that left hand. Here's some wrestling from the Dagestani out of the Nurmagomedov camp. First takedown here, successful for Gadzhi, and he settles into the top position.
Yeah, very smooth that was.
Good work by Chizov. Climbing back to his feet. Overhand right there from Gadzhi was blocked.
Nice counter right from Rabadanov. There's that three-punch combo that he used against Connor Hughes. Jab, uppercut, hook. Gadzhi getting a few reads here. Trying to figure out Chizov's rhythm.
Chizov's got to try to resist the urge to do too much with one punch. Needs to build combinations here against Rabadanov, because Gadzhi's got a slight speed advantage here.
That was a good jab. Chizov stalking Gadzhi.
Feinting level changes now. There's a nice long left again from Chizov.
Really stuff, really fast.
Little blood maybe on the forehead of Gadzhi.
Oh, look at that for a takedown.
Gorgeous.
Dynamic.
Can he do anything with the top position? Gadzhi Rabadanov, Alex Chizov in our co-main event.
Can he set this triangle up here, Sean? He's controlling the head really well. He's got his left foot trapped underneath the leg of Gadzhi, though, and that's the one he needs to get out. Again, creates some space, almost gets himself back up. Omoplata attempt, very good, very good. If Gadzhi turns into it, there's also a triangle setup here he can use. Lovely work.
We thought about throwing up that triangle. He eats a right hand straight down the pipe from Gadzhi.
We had a whole conversation in the fighter interviews this week about Chizov and his consideration to drop his nickname Pretty Boy, because he doesn't want people to think that he thinks he's a pretty boy. The reason why he's got that name is because he always gets out of fights with a clean face. But after his last one, he said, maybe I don't deserve Pretty Boy anymore.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
I like a good ironic nickname, you know? Good jab again there for Alex Chizov. Gadzhi able to evade the right hand. Big looping punch from Chizov. Round one comes to a close. Jason Herzog overseeing the action between Gadzhi Rabadanov in the red, Alex Chizov in the gold. Sean O'Connell, Dan Hardy here cage side. Kennedy Smith, third member of our broadcast team, backstage.
Good timing on the takedown. Chizov wrapped on the neck. Is he going to be able to threaten with this guillotine, or is he going to have to use it to scramble? It's worth noting there's some marking on the face of Gadzhi as he went back to the corner. That looks tight. Good work by Gadzhi to break the grip and move himself out of that.
Well-timed knee, but Gadzhi stays just out of trouble.
Some swelling at the side of the eye of Chizov.
There's a nice right hand and a jab to follow it. There it is again, takedown from Gadzhi Rabadanov, going for the high percentage moves here in round two.
Chizov so far done a really good job of stifling Gadzhi's ground offense with his own attacks and his own scrambling. This looks like an arm triangle setup though from Gadzhi. Chizov's got to be wary of it. Gadzhi was smothering top pressure now, not letting Chizov have any space whatsoever. And still looking like he's thinking about that arm triangle, trying to nudge it up over his head.
Chizov is aware of the arm triangle threat. Getting his left arm back involved. Takedownshop.com, official apparel sponsor of the PFL. Scan the QR code on your screen right now. Good work by Gadzhi on the stand-up to land a couple right hands.
Yeah, nice punches on the break. Oh, split the right hands. Almost both landed a left hook. That jab of Chizov's fantastic. That's what's caused most of the damage, I think, on Gadzhi's face. Another level change, great timing, beautiful knee off a guillotine attempt. This is probably not the fight that Gadzhi was expecting.
Well, Chizov just missed with a right uppercut.
Look how he wraps around.
The takedowns have been successful for Gadzhi, but you made the point, Dan, that Chizov is just stifling a lot of the meaningful offense here. Still, those control positions do matter in the eyes of the judges. Chizov trying to work for a choke again.
Yeah, he's going to struggle with that, having the control of the lower body of Gadzhi. That was the problem last time. He had a good bite on the neck, but didn't have any control of the hips or the body.
Those elbows from the bottom. Point to the elbow like a ball-peen hammer on top of Gadzhi Rabadanov's head.
Nice pass.
Good dynamic pass there from Gadzhi, who then steps back into the half guard. Some guys do like this control position better. You can sit on that bottom leg.
Yeah, especially if Gadzhi's trying to set up that arm triangle, which he is again, look. It's much easier to do it from a half guard position because you're less perpendicular to your opponent like you are in side control. A mount is always difficult to control against someone as good as Chizov. Nice roll through there, back to a turtle position, building himself up, but Gadzi's still up, attached to him.
Now he's got Gadzhi Rabadanov on his back. Chizov continues to work and stand up. Can he use the fence like a cheese grater and get Gadzhi's elbow off him?
Trying to break that grip. 5 for 5 on takedowns for Gadzhi, according to the stats. Chizov turns through, squares to his opponent, but still got those double underhooks to deal with. That was a nice break and turn off.
Chizov tried the front kick to the body.
Tries with the uppercut hook again. Oh, solid knee.
Now Chizov pushing Gadzhi against the cage. 10 seconds left in round 2. And a third and final round in our co-main event coming next from Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
You ready? Fight.
5 more minutes here. Sean O'Connell and Dan Hardy on the call. Chizov with the high kick to open round 3 against Gadzhi Rabadanov.
That jab to the body again by Chizov. Tries for the hook, but still goes too high for it. He's straightening his legs too much when he's leaping into it. There's that jab, though. Stings the face.
Swelling under the eye of Gadzhi, maybe the marking on the forehead. That's where it's come from that long jab of Alex Chizov. It's going to be the thing that helps him set up a combination. He wants to land the right hand that helps him win the PFL Europe title.
Tries for the skip knee. Gadzhi pulls himself out of the range. Tries for the high kick. 3rd time, 4th time.
Blocks with one hand for Gadzhi. Sometimes that one hand is not enough, especially when it wraps around the backside of the head like that.
Yeah, I certainly think if it was his back leg doing the kicking, the one hand brace wouldn't be sufficient to block the full thing. Oh, and again with the knee, very nice.
Chizov throwing a lot here in round 3, and he's landing well. I expect any minute for Gadzhi to try to get down underneath one of these strikes for a takedown again.
I think that's maybe part of the reason why Chizov keeps throwing those knees as partly a psychological deterrent. There it is again. Every time Gadzhi starts putting his head towards the chest or stomach of Chizov, there's a knee floating up that center line.
Body kick caught. Gadzhi runs Chizov against the cage.
Now grab it. Close your hand.
Chizov spins through. Now he's dealing with double underhooks. Turns off again. Very good work.
Half a round left to work.
One thing I will say about Gadzhi is he never gets too precious about anything. He never clings on to a takedown that he knows he's most likely going to have to spend a lot of energy to keep a hold of.
Another high kick there for Alex Chizov.
Watch your fingers, fighters.
Good jab.
Again with the high kick.
Could he throw it with his right leg? Give a slightly different look. Gadzhi reached forward. I mean, that was a takedown from way out of distance, but he still was able to finish.
And he's clamped onto that neck again. Look, Gadzi's trying to pull out.
Don't grab with your foot. You can push.
Tries to pull him over the top momentarily, realizes he's not going anywhere. Shins across the belt line again.
He's down, he's down, he's down.
90 seconds left in the 3rd and final round here in our co-main event. Sanford Pentagon at Sioux Falls. We've seen some great fights tonight. Alex Chizov's got to get himself back to the feet against Gadzhi Rabadanov as the action takes place right in front of the Rabadanov corner.
Again, Gadzhi just not needing to control it out of panic. He's allowing his opponent to move and then just picking him up at the next position. Even there, look, he just stepped away. He wasn't trying to hold the clinch. It's very clever work from Gadzhi, very well managed with his energy. Really close with strikes landed, but 6 for 6 on takedowns for Gadzhi is probably the difference maker in this fight.
Intercepted the forward motion with the left hand there. There was a right hand that Alex Chizov has been scoring.
Man, this fight's gone fast. 20 seconds to go.
Gadzhi go to the bottom, and then
Clever.
slipped right under for the takedown attempt. A big lift and a slam deposit there from Gadzhi Rabadanov to finish this fight. We go the full 3 in the co-main. A decision is coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we turn to the judges' scorecards, where the judges scored this fight 30-27, 29-28, and 30-27. For your winner by unanimous decision, Gadzhi Rabadanov!
Gadzhi Rabadanov back in the win column.
Click below to subscribe and watch more MMA content.